Every group has its bad apples, but in the motorcycle world, a few of them somehow think they're the whole damn tree. Loudmouths, dangerous show-offs, wannabe stuntmen in traffic. You've seen them. You've probably ridden with them. And if you haven't, congrats. You're probably the one we're about to talk about. Because this one's not about calling out gear, brands, or riding styles. It's about attitudes that suck. Riders who ruin the vibe, endanger others, or act like they're God's gift to two wheels when really they're just making all of us look bad. So today we're calling them out. These are the worst types of riders, the ones who need to grow up, sit down, or maybe just get off the bike entirely. Let's get into it. Number 1. The rules don't apply to me rider. This guy treats every road like his personal racetrack, every law like a mild suggestion. Speed limits? Optional. Red lights? Inconvenient. Solid double yellow? Clearly meant for other people. He doesn't ride, he dominates traffic. Or at least that's what he thinks he's doing. You've seen him blast through the neighborhoods at 80, weave through cars like he's qualifying for MotoGP, and ride wheelies through intersections like it's a flex. And when he finally gets pulled over, or worse, hits something, he acts like the world's against him. Victim complex at 100 miles an hour. The problem isn't just that he's reckless, it's that he's selfish. Every time he breaks the rules, he puts pedestrians, other riders, and drivers at risk. And when something goes wrong, we all pay for it. Higher insurance, more restrictions, and another anti-motorcycle headline in the news. This guy isn't pushing the limits because he's skilled. He's pushing them because he's too immature to ride within them. And worst of all, he teaches new riders that stupidity is style. There's a time to go fast, to ride hard, to push yourself. But if you treat public roads like a proving ground, you're not a rebel, you're a hazard. And the worst part is, you don't just risk your own life, you risk ours too. Number 2. The know-it-all. You've barely parked your bike and he's already walking over. Helmet off, smug look on his face, and the first words out of his mouth are, "You should have gotten the other model." Doesn't matter what you ride, how long you've been riding, or why you picked your bike. He knows better. Always. He's the self-appointed expert who never shuts up. He'll tell you your oil brand is wrong, your tire pressure's too high, your suspension's not dialed in, your gear's cheap, and your riding posture is inefficient. He's got an opinion on every bike he's never ridden and advice you didn't ask for, and somehow, he's always right. This guy isn't trying to help. He's trying to flex his fragile ego by correcting other people. He thinks spitting out specs and quoting forum threads makes him an authority, when in reality, he's just exhausting. And even worse, he sucks the fun out of riding. Because suddenly, it's not about the ride. It's about proving yourself to a guy who can't go 5 minutes without telling you why his choices are better than yours. There's nothing wrong with sharing knowledge. Real riders do that all the time. But the difference is, real riders listen first. They don't condescend. They don't nitpick your setup at a gas station. They ride their ride and let you ride yours. The know-it-all isn't wise. He's just loud. And if you've been riding long enough, you know that wisdom usually sounds more like silence. Number 3. The Rev Bomber. Every group has one. You're all lined up at a gas station or a meet, talking, relaxing, then brap brap, he lights up the throttle like he's trying to summon a demon out of the engine. Nobody asked, nobody wanted it, but here he is, revving like it's the only way he knows how to speak. This is the Rev Bomber. He treats the throttle like a social tool, thinking the louder he is, the more respect he earns. It doesn't matter if he's in a parking lot, a residential street, or next to a group of kids at a red light. He's gonna let it rip because in his head, attention equals admiration. Except it doesn't. It equals rolled eyes, noise complaints, and the kind of public resentment that gets motorcycles banned from places. Every time he revs at a restaurant patio, every time he echoes through a quiet neighborhood at 11 p.m., he makes it harder for the rest of us to exist in public without being hated. And the worst part, half the time, his bike's not even tuned right. It's just loud, clapped out, bouncing off the limiter like it's a personality trait. Sound has a place. Crisp exhaust on a canyon run? Beautiful. A deep rumble at idle? Sure. But rev bombing for no reason is just audio pollution from someone desperate to be seen. A real rider doesn't need to announce their presence every 5 seconds. Their ride speaks for itself. Number 4, the group ride racer. You organize a chill ride with friends. Casual pace, scenic route, maybe a few twisties. But within 10 minutes, this guy's doing 90 in a 45, blowing past everyone like it's a time trial. He can't stay in formation, he can't hold a line, he just wants to be out front, carving corners like he's chasing a podium that doesn't exist. This is the rider who turns every group ride into a disaster waiting to happen. He shows up saying he's just here to ride with the crew, but the second his visor goes down, it's a solo mission. He'll overtake mid-corner, he'll cut lanes in formation, he'll blow past cars in blind corners, then park at the next stop and talk like it was all perfectly under control. Truth is, he's not fast. He's reckless. And the worst part, he pressures everyone else to ride beyond their comfort zone just to keep up. That's how crashes happen. That's how people get hurt. And if you call him out, he shrugs it off. You just can't keep up, bro. But here's the truth. Group rides aren't about speed. They're about trust, communication, predictability. And when one guy decides the rules don't apply to him, everyone else gets dragged into the risk. You want to race? Go to the track. You want to impress someone? Ride smooth, not stupid. The guy who tries to turn every group ride into a solo highlight reel, he's not leading. He's endangering the pack. Number 5, the too cool to wave rider. You pass another rider on the road, throw out a quick wave, and get nothing back. No nod, no glance, just cold awkward silence like you don't even exist. Congratulations, you've just met the too cool to wave rider. This guy acts like acknowledging another rider somehow cheapens him, like he's above the shared respect, above the camaraderie, above the unspoken code that binds motorcyclists together. He's got the gear, the look, the 1,000-yard stare, but zero soul. Now sure, there are legit reasons not to wave. Tight corner, busy clutch hand, total focus, fair enough. But you can tell the difference between someone who's focused and someone who just refuses to engage. The guy who looks straight through you every time. The one who won't even nod when you're parked next to him at a gas station. What makes it worse, half the time, these are the riders with the real biker attitude. The ones who preach loyalty, brotherhood, the whole 2 wheels good, 4 wheels bad mantra, until they're around other riders. Then suddenly, they're mute, or worse, dismissive. But here's the thing. Riding is a community, not a competition. You don't have to be best friends with everyone you pass, but a quick wave, a nod, even a damn eyebrow raise. It costs you nothing and keeps the culture alive. The too cool to wave rider doesn't make motorcycling look cool. He makes it cold, and frankly, no one misses him when he disappears down the road. Number 6. The gas station squatter. You pull into a gas station low on fuel, trying to get in and out, and there he is. Bike parked at the pump, helmet off, gloves on the seat, talking on his phone, sipping a drink, posting to Instagram like it's his personal man cave. This is the gas station squatter, and he's one of the most quietly infuriating riders you'll ever encounter. He finishes fueling and just stays there, hanging out, telling stories, leaning on the tank like it's a bar stool while 3 other riders wait to fuel up. He's not in a rush, so clearly no one else should be either. And what makes it worse, he doesn't even seem to be aware of the problem. Or worse, he knows and just doesn't care. Because to him, riding is all about image. And there's no better place to look like a biker than standing next to your machine, blocking the pump, and soaking up attention. Here's the deal. Gas stations are pit stops, not lounges. You fuel, you move, then you hang out if you want. If you're grabbing snacks or chatting with your buddies, great. Move your damn bike first. It's common courtesy. And in crowded areas, it's the difference between a smooth ride and a traffic jam of frustrated riders behind you. The gas station squatter isn't the worst because he's loud or reckless. He's the worst because he's selfish in the most boring, annoying way possible. And every rider behind him feels it. Number 7. The brand snob. You show up on your bike, park it, and before you can even take your helmet off, he's already given it the look. You know the one. Half smirk, half judgment. Because you're not riding the right brand. Not a Harley, not a Ducati, not part of the club. This is the brand snob, the rider who genuinely believes the name on your tank defines your worth as a motorcyclist. He treats the parking lot like a pecking order and acts like your choice in manufacturer says more about you than how you actually ride. He'll scoff at your Japanese bike because it's soulless. He'll bash anything Indian-made as cheap. He'll trash talk scooters like they're a disease. Meanwhile, he's riding something he doesn't even fully understand, but he bought it because the logo matched the image he wanted to project. Here's the truth. Every bike has its place. Some are fast, some are functional, some are budget-friendly, some are built like art. And every single one of them can be respected if the rider respects the road. But the brand snob, he doesn't care about riding. He cares about status. He's not in the community because he loves bikes. He's in it because he loves being seen on one. And if your brand doesn't match his, he's already made up his mind. Forget him. Ride what works. Ride what fits. And never let a badge tell you who you are. Number 8. The danger bragger. Every group has one. The guy who can't shut up about the time he almost high-sided at 120. Or how he drifted through a red light and lived to tell the tale. He tells these stories like they're badges of honor, like almost dying makes him more of a rider. This is the danger bragger, and he's addicted to near misses. He doesn't talk about beautiful roads or smooth lines. He talks about how fast he was going when the cops pulled him over, or how close he came to eating asphalt. And if you haven't had a terrifying moment, he'll say you haven't really ridden. The problem is, he glorifies bad riding. He treats recklessness like skill, mistakes like achievements, and danger like it's part of the identity. And if you're a new rider listening to him, you might actually believe that taking stupid risks is what makes you legitimate. But real riders know, riding isn't about getting lucky. It's about never needing to. Staying calm, controlled, and smooth through every curve. Being predictable in traffic. Coming home in one piece every damn time. That's not boring. That's mastery. The danger bragger isn't brave. He's just loud. And deep down, you can tell he knows he's pushing his luck. But instead of learning, he tells the same stories over and over, like repetition turns recklessness into wisdom. It doesn't. Number 9. The passenger abuser. You've seen this guy. He's got someone on the back, maybe a partner, maybe a friend, and he's riding like they're not even there. Hard braking, sudden lane changes, aggressive leans, snapping the throttle at lights, or flying over potholes without a second thought. And the passenger? White-knuckled, helmet bumping, trying not to slide off the seat. This is the passenger abuser, the rider who treats the person behind him like luggage with legs. He doesn't communicate, he doesn't check in, he doesn't ride smoother to make the experience better. He just rides like he always does and expects the person on the back to figure it out. Here's the truth. Riding with a passenger is a responsibility. You're doubling the weight, changing the balance, and putting someone else's life in your hands. That's not a flex, that's a contract. And if you break it by riding like a jackass, you're not just a bad rider, you're a selfish one. Most passengers won't say anything. They'll grit their teeth, hold on tighter, and swear they're fine. But you can see it in their body language. They're tense, leaning wrong, bracing for the next scare. And when the ride ends, they're relieved, not happy. A real rider knows if your passenger isn't comfortable, you're doing it wrong. Because being trusted with someone else's ride means protecting the experience, not just showing off your skills. If someone trusts you enough to get on the back, treat that like the honor it is, or don't take them at all. Number 10. The Instagram Biker. You pull up to a meet and he's already mid-photo shoot. Phone on a tripod, jacket half zipped for maximum logo exposure. 1 foot on the peg like he's been frozen in a Red Bull ad. Ask him where he rode last weekend, he'll say, "I didn't ride, I just got some content." This is the Instagram Biker. The guy who spends more time editing videos than actually twisting the throttle. His bike is spotless because it barely moves. His gear looks brand new because it basically is. And every ride he does take, it's choreographed. Perfect lighting, helmet angle just right. Ride 5 miles, shoot 30 photos, go home and post, "Put in work today." There's nothing wrong with documenting your rides. We all love a good pic. But this guy isn't sharing the love of motorcycling. He's selling an image. And worst of all, he's often given advice he has no business giving. He talks like an expert, but ride with him once and you'll see. He's all aesthetic, no experience. You can spot the difference between someone who rides and someone who performs. One's dirty, tired, and smiling. The other's posted next to a bike that hasn't cooled down since last Thursday. Riding isn't about followers. It's about feel, road time, moments no camera can catch. If your ride only exists because you filmed it, you're missing the best parts. Real riders ride. The rest are just playing dress-up. Number 11. The one-uppin' storyteller. You're at a rest stop, swapping ride stories with friends, until he jumps in. You mention a nice mountain ride? He's ridden it backwards in the rain. Talk about a close call with a car. He once laid it down at 140 and walked away without a scratch. Bring up track day? He knows a guy who beat a pro racer on a stock bike and he taught him how to ride. This is the one-uppin' storyteller. No matter what you've done, he's done it bigger, faster, and with more drama. And somehow, his stories always center around him being the hero, or surviving something that would kill a lesser mortal. The worst part? It's not about sharing the experience. It's about shifting the spotlight. He's not listening. He's waiting for his turn to talk. And when he does, he's not telling the truth. He's telling a version of it that makes him look like the king of the road. Over time, people stop talking around this guy. Why bother? He'll just hijack the moment and make it about himself. What could have been a great hangout turns into a one-man monologue of exaggerated glory. We all tell stories. Riding gives us plenty. But there's a difference between telling one to connect and telling one to compete. And if your story needs to outshine everyone else's, it's probably not as good as you think it is. And if it actually happened, you wouldn't need to dress it up to impress the room. Riding a motorcycle doesn't make you cool. Your attitude does. And the truth is, some people throw a leg over a bike and instantly forget how to be decent human beings. Whether it's the guy racing through traffic, the one rev bombing at midnight, or the self-proclaimed expert who won't stop lecturing, you've seen these riders. We all have. And every time they act like clowns, they make the rest of us look worse. They give the public a reason to hate motorcycles. They make new riders feel unwelcome, and they kill the spirit of what riding is really about. But here's the good news. You don't have to ride like them. You don't have to tolerate it. Call it out. Set a better example. Show people that riding can still be about respect, fun, and community, not ego, noise, and nonsense. So if you've got another worst rider type in mind, drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this one, hit like, subscribe, and stick around, because calling out bad habits is just as important as celebrating the good ones. Ride hard, ride humble, and don't be that guy.